for this Alchemist production of 12 Angry Jurors. I'm so excited that we have a great audience here today, and trust me, this will not be your average jury duty. So first, before the performance, I'd just like to lay down a few ground rules. Please no flash photography as it distracts our audience and our actors and actresses. And make sure to keep the aisles clear at all times, as it is a safety hazard. And make sure to note that exits are to the rear and to the sides of the theater. I'd personally like to give a great thanks to everyone involved in the show, as without them, the show wouldn't be possible. That includes, but is not limited to, Mrs. Uchaki, Mr. Haber, Mrs. Marks, and of course our amazing cast and crew. So now that I'm done with my speech, sit back, relax, and let the jury deliberations begin. Thank you.
Murder in the first degree, premeditated homicide, is the most serious charge tried in our criminal courts. You have heard a long and complex case, jurors, and it's your duty to try to sit down and separate the facts from the fantasy. One man is dead. The life of another is at stake. If there's any reasonable doubt in your minds as to the guilt of the accused, then you must declare him not guilty. If, however, there is no reasonable doubt, then he must be found guilty. Whichever way you decide, the verdict must be unanimous. I urge you to deliberate honestly and thoughtfully. You are faced with a grave responsibility. Thank you, jurors.
He doesn't stand a chance.
Chewing gum? 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 Want some chewing gum? 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 Chewing gum? You want some chewing gum? Gum? Thank you, but no. You know something?
I know lots of things. I'm in advertising.
Well, you know, it's hot.
You know, I never would have known if he hadn't told me. Would you?
I suppose not. I kind of forgot.
All I've done all day is sweat.
Hey, you aren't sweating like that kid who was trying.
I mean, you'd think they'd at least air condition the place. I thought I'd drop dead in court.
My taxes are high enough.
Well, this should go fast anyway. Yes, it's hot.
Okay, jurors, everybody's here. If there's anything you need, I'll be right outside. Just knock.
Did you lock that door?
Yes, we did.
What do they think we are, crooks?
They locked us up for a little while.
And they locked that kid up forever, and that is fine by me.
I never knew they did that.
Surely lock the door. What did you think?
I just didn't know. It never occurred to me.
Shall we all admit right now that it is hot and humid and our tempers are short?
It's been a pretty hard week.
I feel just fine.
I wonder how things are going down at the office. You know, I work in advertising, and in 6 days, my job could be gone, and the whole company, too. They're not going to like this.
Well, figure this our duty.
I didn't necessarily object to doing my duty. I simply mentioned I might not have a job by the time I get back.
Well, ask her to hire you. She's rich. Look at the getup.
Is that custom tailored?
Yes, it is.
I have an uncle who's a tailor.
Well, how does he do?
Not too well. You know, a friend of his. That's a friend of my uncle, Taylor.
Well, his friend wanted to be on this jury in my place.
Why didn't you let him? I would have done anything to miss this.
And get caught or something? You know what kind of a fine you could pay for anything like that? Well, anyways, this friend of my uncle's was on a jury once, about 10 years ago. A case just like this one.
So what happened?
They let him off. Reasonable doubt. And you know, about 8 years later, they found out that he'd actually done it. A guilty man, a murderer, set loose into the streets.
Well, did they get it?
They couldn't.
Why not?
Man can't be held in double jeopardy. Unless it's a hung jury, they can't try a man twice for the same crime.
Well, that won't happen here.
I mean, 6 days! They should have finished it in 2.
Just talk and talk and talk.
Did you ever hear so much talk about nothing?
Well, I guess they're entitled.
Everybody gets a fair trial, right? That's the system. Guess you can't say anything against it.
So, what did you think about that business about the knife? Did you ever hear a funnier story?
I mean, you've got to expect that. You know exactly what you're dealing with.
He bought a Swiss knife that night.
And then he lost it.
A hole in his pocket?
A hole in his father.
An awful way to kill your father. A knife in his chest.
But just look at the kind of people they are. You know them.
Oh, what's the matter? You got a cold or something?
These hot weather colds can kill you.
Oh, I had one recently. I was on vacation too. It's terrible.
All right, gentlemen, let's take some seats.
Right. This better be fast. I got tickets to the Yanks for tonight. You know that new pitcher Wondolowski's in there? All right, Your Honor. Start the show.
The gentleman at the window, how about taking a seat? The gentleman at the window, how about taking a seat?
Oh, sorry.
It's tough to figure, isn't it? A kid kills his father, bing, just like that. Well, it's the element. They let the kids run wild. Maybe it shows them light.
There are better proofs than some emotion you may have. Perhaps a dislike for some group.
We all agreed it was not. And that our tempers will get short.
That's if we disagree, but this is open and shut. Let's just get it done.
All right, jurors, I'm gonna let you all make your own decisions. That means I'm not gonna make any rules. We can discuss it first and then vote, or we can vote right now and see how we stand.
No, let's vote now. Who knows? Maybe we can all go home.
Yeah, let's see who's where.
Yeah, Fred, let's vote now.
Anybody object?
Well, that was easy.
Okay. All those voting guilty, raise your hands.
Come on.
8, 9, 10, 11. All those voting not guilty.
You're left field.
11 votes guilty, 1 not guilty. Now we know where we stand.
Do you really believe he's not guilty?
I don't know.
After 6 days, he doesn't know.
6 days, I can learn calculus. This is ABC. I don't believe it is as simple as ABC.
I never saw a guiltier man in my life.
What does a guilty man look like? He's not guilty until we say he is guilty. Are we to vote on his face?
You sat right in court and heard the same things I did. The man's a dangerous killer. You can see it.
Where do you live to see if a man is a killer? Tell me, I'd like to know what the facial characteristics of a killer are. Maybe you know something I don't.
Look, what about this case makes you think that the boy is innocent?
He's 19 years old.
That's old enough. He knifed his own father 4 inches into the chest. An innocent little 19-year-old kid.
I agree with you that the boy is guilty, but I think we should try to avoid emotionally colored arguments.
All right. They proved it a dozen different ways. Do you want me to list them?
No.
Well, do you believe that stupid story the kid told?
Now.
Do you believe the kid's story?
I don't know whether I believe it or not.
So then what did you vote not guilty for?
Well, there were 11 votes for guilty. It's not so easy for me to just raise my hand and send a boy off to die without talking about it first.
Well, who says it's easy for me?
Or me.
No one.
He's still just as guilty, whether it's an easy vote or a hard vote.
Is there something wrong because I voted fast?
Not necessarily.
I think the guy's guilty. You couldn't change my mind if you talked for 100 years.
I don't want to change your mind.
Well, just what are you thinking of?
I want to talk for a while. Look, this kid's been pushed around all his life, you know, living in a slum. His mother dead since he was 9. It's not a very good head start. He's a tough, angry kid. You know why some kids get that way? Because we knock them over the head once a day, every day. I just think maybe we owe him a few words. That's all.
All right. It's hard. Sure. Everything I've got I fought for. I worked my way through college, and that wasn't a long time ago. Perhaps you do forget. I fought, yes, but I never killed.
Yeah, I know what it's like too. I've never killed anybody.
I've been kicked around too. Just wait until you've worked in an ad agency and the big guy that buys the ads walks in the room. We all know.
In my country, kicking was a science, but I've tried to find something better than that.
Look, I don't mind telling you this, mister, but we don't owe that kid a thing. He got a fair trial, didn't he? Do you know what that trial cost? He's lucky he got it. We're all adults here. You aren't gonna sit there and try to make us believe that that kid is innocent, knowing what he is. I've lived among them all my life. You can't trust a word they say. You know that.
I don't know that. What a terrible thing for a man to believe. Is dishonesty a group characteristic? You have no monopoly over the truth.
All right, it's not Sunday. We don't need a sermon.
What this man says is very dangerous. I
don't see any need for arguing like this. I think we ought to be able to behave like adults.
Yeah. Oh, all right. If you insist.
Thank you.
Sure.
If we're going to discuss this case, why, let's discuss the facts.
That's a good point. We have a job to do. Let's do it.
If you all don't mind, I'm going to go close the window. It was blowing on me.
Well, if you all don't mind, I'd like to have that window open.
But it was blowing on me.
It's summer. It's hot. Don't you want a little air?
I was very uncomfortable.
There are 12 of us in this room. It's the only window, and the fan's broken. If you don't mind.
I have some rights too.
Yeah, so do the rest of us.
Couldn't you trade chairs with someone at the opposite end of the table?
All right. I will open the window if someone will trade.
Take my chair.
All right, let's get back to the case.
Yeah, let's.
I may have an idea here. Now, I'm just thinking out loud, but it seems to me that it's up to the rest of us to convince this man that we're right and he's wrong. So, why don't we all go around the room and talk for a minute or two? You know, let's try out our sides.
I guess that's fair enough.
Very fair.
Supposing we go once around the table in order of our jury numbers.
So, okay, let's do it.
All right, we'll start with you.
Oh. Well, I just think he's guilty. I thought it was obvious.
In what ways was it obvious?
I mean that nobody proved otherwise.
Nobody has to prove otherwise. Innocent to proven guilty. The burden of proof is on the prosecution. The defendant doesn't have to open his mouth. It's in the Constitution, the Fifth Amendment, you've heard of it.
Everyone has.
Well, I've heard of it. What I meant... Anyways, I think he's guilty.
No reasons. Just guilty. A man's life is at stake here.
All right, let's get to the facts. Number one, let's take the old man who lived on the second floor of the apartment building, directly underneath where the murder took place. At 10 minutes after 12 on the night of the killing, he said he heard loud noises coming from the upstairs apartment, right? He said it sounded like a fight. The old man heard the kid yell, "I'm gonna kill you," and then a second later he heard a body fall. Then he ran to the window of his apartment, looked out, and saw the boy running down the steps and out of the house. Then the old man called the police, and the police found the father with a knife in his chest.
And the coroner fixed the time of the death at around midnight.
Right. What else do you want?
I don't know, it doesn't seem to fit.
The boy's entire story is flimsy. He claimed he was at the movies. That's a little ridiculous, isn't it? He couldn't even remember what picture he saw.
That's right. Did you hear that? Yeah, that is absolutely right.
He didn't have a ticket stub. Who keeps the ticket stub at the movies.
I guess that's true enough.
I suppose, but the cashier didn't remember him.
And the ticket taker didn't either.
Look, how about the woman across the street? If her testimony don't prove that nothing does.
That's right. She saw the killing, didn't she?
Let's go in order.
Just a minute. Here's a woman who's lying in bed and can't sleep. It's hot, you know? Anyways, she gets up, walks across her room, looks out the window, across the L tracks, and sees the boy stick the knife into his father.
How can she really be sure that it was the boy if she saw it through the windows of a passing L train?
She's known the kid all his life. His window's right opposite hers, across the L tracks, and she swore she saw him do it.
I heard her swear to it.
Okay, and they proved in court that you can look through the windows of a passing L train at night and see what's happening on the other side. They proved it.
Weren't you just telling us all a minute or two ago that you can't trust them, that you don't believe them?
So?
Well, let me ask you something. If you can't trust them, then why do you trust her? She's one of them, isn't she?
Aren't you a pretty smart fella?
Now take it
Hey,
easy.
come on. Just sit down. What are you letting him get you all upset for? Just relax.
Listen, they did take us out to the woman's room, and we did look through the windows of the passing L train, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
And weren't you able to see what happened on the other side?
I didn't see as well as they told me I would see, but I did see what happened on the other side.
You see? You see?
Let's calm down now. It's your turn.
I'll pass it.
That's your privilege. What about you?
I don't know. I started to be convinced. You know, with the testimony from those people across the hall, didn't they say something about a fight between the father and the boy around 7 o'clock that night? I mean, I can be wrong.
I think it was 8 o'clock, not 7.
That's right, 8 o'clock.
They heard the father hit the boy twice, and then saw the boy walk angrily out of the house.
Right.
Well, what does that prove?
Well, it doesn't exactly prove anything. It's just part of the picture. I never said it proved anything.
Anything else?
No.
I don't know. Most of it's been said already. Listen, I could talk all day, but I think I'd be wasting my time.
I don't.
Neither do I. Go on.
Fine. I don't know. Look at the kid's record. Didn't they say he was arrested for mugging? And, didn't they say he knifed some guy in the arm?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. He was arrested for knife fighting. He went to reform school.
And he went to reform school for stabbing someone.
Yeah. This is a very fine boy.
Every day since he was 5, his father beat him up regularly. He used his fists.
I would too, on a kid like that.
No, you know, you're right. It's the kids. They don't listen. I got a kid. When he was 8 years old, he ran away from a fight. I thought, I was so ashamed. My husband and I said to him, we said, we're gonna make a man out of you, or we're gonna bust you up in little pieces trying. When he was 15, he punched me, a woman, his mother in the face. He's a pretty big kid. I haven't seen him in 3 years. He's a rotten kid. You know? I hate tough kids, you know. You can work your heart out, and then... Let's get on with it.
We're missing the point here. Boy, let's say he's a product of a filthy neighborhood and a broken home. We can't help that. We're not here to go into the reasons why slums are breeding grounds for criminals. They are. I know it. So do you. The children who come out of slum backgrounds are potential menaces to society. I mean...
Right there. You said it right there. And I don't want any part of that, believe me.
I've lived in the slum all my life.
Now wait a minute.
I used to play in the backyard filled with garbage. Maybe it still smells on me.
Now let's be reasonable. It's nothing personal.
There is something personal.
me, fella. Let's not get so sensitive, all right?
Who do you mean?
I can understand the sensitivity.
Now let's stop bickering.
We're wasting time.
It's your turn.
All right. I had a peculiar feeling about this trial. Somehow I feel the defense counsel didn't do a thorough cross-examination. So many questions were never answered.
I mean, it doesn't change my opinion about the guilt of the boy, but still, I do agree with you that defense counsel was biased.
So?
Disappointing.
What about facts?
So many questions were never answered.
Well, what about the questions that were answered? For instance, let's talk about that cute little switch knife, right? One that fine, upright kid admitted to buying.
All right, let's talk about it. I'd like to get it in here, Mrs. Foreman.
We all know what it looks like. Why do we have to see it again? What do you think?
The gentleman has rights to see exhibits and evidence.
Okay with me.
This knife is a pretty strong piece of evidence, don't you agree?
I do.
Now, let's get the sequence of events right as they relate to the switch knife.
The boy admits to leaving the house at 8 o'clock after being slapped by his father, or punched.
Or punched. The boy went to a neighborhood store and bought a switch knife. The following day, the storekeeper was arrested for admitting to selling the knife to the boy.
I think we can all agree that it's a pretty unusual knife, right? It's kind of hard to forget sometimes, but yeah.
The storekeeper identified the knife and said it was the only one of its kind that he had in stock. But the question is, why did the boy get it?
A present for a friend of his, he said.
Am I right so far?
Right.
You know what? You bet you're right, all right? Everybody listen to this woman. She knows what she's talking about.
Next, the boy claims that on the way home, the knife must have fallen through a hole in his coat pocket, never to be seen again. Now, there's the story. You know what actually happened? The boy took the knife home and a few hours later stabbed his father with it and even remembered to wipe off the fingerprints. Thank you. Everyone connected with the case identified this knife. Now, are you trying to tell me that someone picked it up off the street, went up to the boy's apartment, and stabbed his father with it just to be amusing?
No, I'm just saying it's possible that the boy lost the knife and that somebody else stabbed his father with a similar knife. It's possible.
All right. Take a look at this knife. It's a very strange knife. I've never seen one like it before in my life. Neither have the storekeeper who sold it to him. Aren't you trying to make us accept a pretty incredible coincidence?
I'm not trying to make anyone accept anything. I'm just saying it's possible.
And I'm saying it's not possible. What are you trying to do?
What is this? Who do you think you are?
I can't see Quiet! Let's be quiet.
Where did you get it?
Bought that at a little junk shop around the corner from the boy's house. It cost me $2.
Now listen to me.
I'm listening.
You pulled a real smart trick here, but you proved absolutely zero. Okay? Maybe there are 10 knives like that, so what?
Maybe there are.
The boy lied and you know it.
And maybe he didn't lie. And maybe he did go to the movies. And maybe the reason the cashier didn't see him was because he snuck into the movies. And maybe he was ashamed to say so. I mean, is there anyone here who hasn't snuck into the movies at least once or twice when they were younger?
I did.
Really? Not even once?
We didn't have movies.
Maybe he did go to the movies. And maybe he didn't. And he may have lied. Do you think he lied?
Now that's a stupid question. Sure he lied.
Do you?
You don't have to ask me that. You know my answer. He lied.
Do you think he lied?
I don't know. No, wait a second. What are you, the guy's lawyer? I mean, there are 11 of us in this room who think he's guilty. You're alone. So if you want to be stubborn and hang this jury, he'll be tried again and found guilty sure as he's born.
You're probably right.
Okay, so what are you trying to accomplish? We could be here all night. It's only one night. A man may die. Oh, come on.
Well, yes, that's true.
Come on. We ought to get on with this.
Yeah, let's get going here.
How do you like this guy?
Well, what do you say? You're the one holding up the show.
Obviously, you don't think that the boy is guilty.
There's a doubt in my mind.
Well, you haven't really presented anything to us that would make us understand your doubt. There's the old man downstairs. He heard the kid shriek it out.
And the woman across the L track, she saw it.
Yeah, we know he bought a Swiss knife that night, and we don't know where he was. At the movies?
The boy and his father did have a fight that night.
I mean, he's been a violent kid all the way. And it doesn't really prove anything.
Still, you know.
I got a proposition to make. I want to call for another vote. I want you 11 to vote by secret ballot and all abstain. If there are still 11 votes for guilty, I won't stand alone in taking the guilty verdict right now.
Okay, let's do it.
Is everyone agreed?
I certainly am.
Let's roll.
Perhaps this is best.
All right. When you're done with your ballots, pass them down to me.
Give it up.
Sure. At least ask. Thank you. Thank you. Is that everybody? Guilty? Guilty. 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 Guilty.
That's 6.
Please. Guilty. 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 Not guilty. And guilty.
How do you like that? Who was it? I think we have a right to know.
Yeah, alright, who did it? What idiot changed their vote?
Is that a way to talk about a man's life?
Well, whose life are you talking about? The life of a dead man or the life of a murderer?
I want to know. Who?
Yeah, so do I.
Excuse me. This was a secret ballot.
Okay, nobody looked while we did it, but now I want to know.
A secret ballot. We agreed on that point, no? If the juror wants it to remain a secret.
What are you talking about? There are no secrets in here. I know who it was. What is the matter with you? You come in here and you vote guilty, and then this slick preacher over here starts to tear your heart out with stories about poor slum kids who just can't help but become murderers, and then you change your vote. If that isn't the most—
Now hold it!
I agree with you that the boy is guilty, but let's try to be fair.
Hold it? Be fair, really. That's just what I'm saying. We're trying to put a guilty man in the chair where he belongs, and then all of a sudden we're paying attention to fairy tales.
Now, just a minute.
You listen to me
Let's
first.
keep this organized.
This isn't organized, but let's try to be civilized.
Please, I would like to say something. I have always thought that a person was entitled to have unpopular opinions in this country. This is the reason I came here. I wanted to have the right to disagree.
Well, do you disagree with us?
Usually I would. In this one case, I agree with you. But the point I wish to make is that in my own country, I'm ashamed to say—
Oh, now what you've listened to? The whole history of your country?
It's always wise to bear in mind what has happened in other countries when people aren't allowed to disagree. But we are, so let's stick to the subject.
Yeah, let's stick to the subject. So I want to ask you, what made you change your vote?
Yeah. I want to know too. You haven't told us yet.
Why do you think I changed my vote?
Because I do. Now get on with it.
He didn't change his vote. I did. I was going to tell you, but you're so sure of yourself.
Sorry.
Okay, now maybe you'd like to know
Let me tell you what I
The
can
man wants to talk.
Thank you. This man chose to stand alone against us. That's his right. It takes a great deal of courage to stand alone, even when you believe in something very strongly. He left the verdict up to us. He gambled for support and I gave it to him. I want to hear more. The vote is 10 to 2.
All right, that's fine. If your speech is over, let's just get on with it.
there was anything in the kid's favor, I'd vote not guilty.
I don't see what it is.
Neither do I. We're clutching at straws.
As guilty as they get. That's the kid, I suppose.
It's that one dude that's holding out. But he'll come around. He's got to. And fundamentally, he's a very reasonable man.
I guess so.
They haven't come up with one real fact yet to back up the not verdict.
It's hard, you know?
Yes, it is. And what does guilty beyond a reasonable doubt really mean?
What is a reasonable doubt?
Exactly. When life is at stake, what is a reasonable doubt? You gotta have law in order. You gotta draw the line somewhere. If you don't, everyone would go and start knifing people.
Not much doubt here.
Too nothing so. I wonder why. I really wonder why.
You do hear stories about innocent men who've gone to jail or death sometimes, then years later, things turn out.
And then, on the other hand, some killers get turned loose, and they go and do it again. They squeeze out on some technicality and kill again.
Hey, buddy. I got a little excited a minute ago, and you know how it is, right? I didn't mean to get nasty, so nothing personal.
Okay. So, I gotta ask you, if the boy didn't kill him, then who did?
As far as I know, we're supposed to just decide whether or not the boy on trial is guilty. We're not concerned with anyone else's motives here.
All right. But who else had motive?
The kid's father was along here, so maybe an old grudge.
Remember, it is guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. That's important.
Everyone's a lawyer, right? Supposing you explain to us what your reasonable doubts are.
So far, it's admittedly not much. Just a feeling that I have. A feeling perhaps you don't understand.
No, I don't.
A feeling? What's the plan here? To spend the night talking about your feelings? What about the facts?
Hey, you said a mouthful, all right? Look, the old man heard the kid yell, "I'm gonna kill you." And then a second later, he heard the father's body fall. And he saw the boy running out of the house 15 seconds after that.
Yeah, where's the reasonable doubt in that?
That's right. And let's not forget about the woman across the street. She looked into the open window and saw the boy stab his father. She saw it.
Now, if that's not enough for you, then I
Not
don't...
enough for me.
What is enough for you? I'd like to know.
How do you like him? It's like talking to a dead phone.
All right. The woman claims she saw the murder committed through the windows of a moving elevated train. The train had 5 cars, and she saw it through the windows of the last 2 cars. She just remembers the most insignificant details.
What do you have to say about that?
I don't know. It doesn't seem right to me.
Well, supposing you think about it. Hey, lend me your pencil. We'll play tic-tac-toe, might as well pass the time.
This isn't a game.
Wait a minute!
This is a man's life.
Who do you think you are?
Hey, take it easy.
Got a good mind to walk around the table and belt in one.
Now, please. I don't want any fights in here.
Did you see him? The nerve, the absolute nerve.
All right, forget it. It don't mean anything.
How about sitting down? This isn't a game. Who does he think he is?
Weren't we talking about elevated train?
Yes, we were.
So?
All right. How long does it take an L train going at top speed to pass a given point?
What has that got to do with anything?
How long would it take? Guess.
I wouldn't have the slightest idea.
Neither would I.
I don't think they mentioned.
What do you think? About 10 or 12 seconds, maybe. I'd say that's a pretty fair guess. Anybody else?
I would think about 10 seconds perhaps.
About 10 seconds, yeah.
So, we're agreed. 10 seconds? What are you getting at?
Yes. An L train takes 10 seconds to pass a given point. That given point is the window of the room in which the killing took place. You can almost reach out of that window and touch the L tracks, right?
That's right. I tried it.
So?
Anyone here ever live right next to the L tracks?
I've lived close to them.
I've lived right next to them. When your window's open and the train goes by, the noise is almost unbearable. You can't hear yourself think.
All right, you can't hear yourself think. Get to the point.
The old man downstairs heard the boy say,
He didn't say it, he screamed it.
Heard the boy scream, "I'm gonna kill you." And 1 second later, he heard the body fall. 1 second, that's the testimony, right?
Right.
And the woman across the street looked through the windows of the last 2 cars and saw the body fall, right?
Right.
So, the last 2 cars. The last 2 cars.
What are you giving us here?
An L train takes 10 seconds to pass a given point, or 2 seconds per car. That L had been going by the old man's window for 6 seconds, and maybe more, before the body fell, according to the woman. That means that the old man would have had to hear the boy say, "I'm gonna kill you," just as the L was roaring past his nose. It's not possible he could have heard it.
What do you mean? Sure he could have heard it.
An L train going by?
He said the kid yelled it out.
An L train makes a lot of noise.
It's enough for me.
It's enough for me too.
I don't think he could have heard it.
Maybe the old man did hear it. Maybe the old man.
What are you people talking about? Are you calling the old man a liar?
Something doesn't fit.
Well, it stands to reason.
You're crazy. Why would he lie? What does he have to gain?
Attention, maybe.
Oh, you keep coming up with these bright sayings, don't you? How about you send one into a newspaper that pay $2?
What does that have to do with a man's life? Why let the old man have lied? You have a right to be heard.
It's just that I looked at him for a very long time. The seam of his jacket was torn. Did you notice that? He was a very old man, and he walked with 2 canes, and he had a torn jacket. I think I know him better than anyone. This was a quiet, frightened, insignificant man. Nobody knows him after 75 years. It's a very sad thing. A man like this just needs to be listened to, and recognized, and questioned, and quoted just once, and... It's very important.
And you're trying to tell us that he lied about something like this, just so that he could feel important?
Well, he wouldn't really lie, but perhaps he'd make himself believe that he was telling the truth.
And now that is the most fantastic story I've ever heard. How can you make up a thing like that?
I'm not making it up.
You must be making it up, because people don't just lie about things like that.
He made himself believe that he told the truth.
What do you know about it?
Speak from experience.
What?
I am saying that.
Thank you. I think we all understand now.
Hey, if you want to admit you're a liar, that's fine by me.
No, that is too much.
He's a liar, he just said so.
He didn't say he was a liar, he was explaining.
Did you not just admit that you're a liar?
Please, he was explaining the circumstances so that we could all better understand why the old man might have lied. There's a difference.
A liar is a liar, that's all there is to it.
Please, have some compassion.
All right, let's get on with this.
Well, I think they've covered what we want to.
I hope we have.
Anything else?
Cough drop?
No, thank you.
Does anybody want a cough drop?
Come on, let's get on with this.
I'll take one. Thank you. Now, there is something else I'd like to point out here. I think we proved that the old man downstairs couldn't have heard the boy say, "I'm gonna kill you."
Well, I disagree.
He has a right. Go ahead.
This phrase, how many times have each of us used it? Probably hundreds. If you do that once more, Junior, I'm gonna murder you. Oh, come on, Rocky, kill him! We say it every day. That doesn't mean that we're really gonna kill someone.
Don't the circumstances alter that somewhat?
The man was murdered.
And one thing more, the phrase was, "I'm going to kill you," and the kid screamed it at the top of his lungs.
That's the way I understand it.
Now don't try and tell me he didn't mean it. Somebody says something like that the way he said it, they mean it.
And how they mean it?
All right, well, let me ask you something. Do you really think that the boy would just shout out anything like that so the whole neighborhood can hear him? I don't think so. He's much too bright for that.
Right! He's a common ignorant slum. He don't even speak good English.
He doesn't even speak good English.
Boy is clever enough.
I like to change my vote to not guilty.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure.
All right, the vote is 9-3 in favor of guilty.
I'd like to know why you changed your vote.
I think there's a doubt.
Where? What's the doubt?
There's the knife.
Oh, come on! This man talked you into believing a fairy tale!
Go on, give us your reasons.
The old man too. Maybe he didn't lie, but maybe he did. Maybe he just doesn't like the kid.
Oh, God, if that is the end.
I just think there's a reasonable doubt.
What are you basing it on? It's stories that this guy made up? You should really write for Amazing Detective Monthly. You'd make a fortune. Listen, the kid had a lawyer, didn't he? Why didn't his lawyer bring up all these points?
Lawyers can't think of everything.
You pull all this stuff out of thin air, and now you're expecting me to believe that the old man did get out of bed, open the door and watch the kid beat it downstairs 15 seconds after that?
That's the testimony I believe.
Yeah, and the old man swore to this. Yeah, he swore to this, just so he could be important.
Did the old man say he ran to the door?
Ran and walked, what's the difference? You got that.
I don't remember, but I don't see how he could run.
He said he went. I remember it now. He went from his bedroom to the door. That's enough, isn't it?
Where was his bedroom again?
Down the hall somewhere.
Down the hall? Are we to send a man off to die because it's down the hall somewhere?
I thought you remembered everything. Don't you remember that?
No, I don't.
I don't remember either.
I'd like to get that diagram of the apartment in here, Mrs.
Oh, great! Why don't we have them run the whole trial over, just so you can get all your facts straight.
His bedroom's down the hall somewhere. Do you know? Do you know exactly where it is? Please, a man's life is at stake. Do you know? Mrs. Foreman?
I heard you.
All right. What is this one for? How come you're the only guy in the room that wants to see exhibits all the time?
I want to see this one too.
So do I.
And I want to stop wasting time.
Yeah, are we gonna start wading through all that nonsense about where the body was found?
We're not. We're going to find out how a man who's had 2 strokes in the past 3 years and walks with a pair of canes can get to his front door in 15
He
seconds.
said 20 seconds.
He said 15.
How does he know how long 15 seconds is? You can't judge that kind of thing.
He said 15. He was very positive about it.
He was an old man. You saw that. Half the time he was confused. How could he be positive about anything? You know.
No, I don't know. Maybe you know?
Is this what you wanted? Yes, thank you. Sure, that's my job. You want this?
Yes, please.
Hey, do me a favor. Wake me up when this is over.
I stared at that stupid thing for 2 hours. Enough is enough.
Some of us are interested. Go ahead.
All right. This is the apartment in which the killing took place. The old man's apartment is directly beneath it and exactly the same. Here are the L tracks. There's a bedroom, another bedroom, living room, kitchen, bathroom, and these are the steps, and this is the hall. Now, the old man says he got up, went to his bedroom door, walked down the hall, and opened the front door just in time to see the boy racing down the stairs. Am I right?
That's the story.
That's what happened.
15 seconds after he heard the body fall.
Correct.
His bed was at the window. It's 12 feet from the bed to the bedroom door, and the length of the hall is 43 feet 6 inches. So he had to get him out of bed, get his canes, walk 12 feet and open the bedroom door, walk 43 feet down the hall and open the front door, all in 15 seconds. Do you really think this is possible?
You already know it's possible.
I don't see why not.
He would have been in a hurry. He did hear the scream.
He can only walk very slowly. They had to help him into the witness chair.
Yeah, but you make it sound like it's a long walk. It's not.
For an old man who uses canes, it's a long walk.
What are you doing?
I want to try this thing. Let's see how long it took him. I'm going to pace off 12 feet the length of the bedroom.
You're crazy. You can't recreate that kind of thing.
Perhaps if we could see it. This is an important point.
It is a ridiculous waste of time. Let him do it.
Foolish, but go ahead.
Somebody hand me a chair, please. Thank you. All right. This is the bedroom door. How far would you say it is from here to that wall?
I'd say it was about 20 feet.
Just about.
I'd say that's pretty fair. So from here to the wall and back is just about 40 feet. That's a little bit shorter than the length of the hall the old man had to move through. Wouldn't you say so?
A few feet, maybe.
Look, this is absolutely insane. What makes you think you can do this?
We can't stop him.
Do you mind if I try? According to you, this will only take 15 seconds. We can spare that. Who's gonna watch with the second hand?
I do.
When you want me to start, step your foot. That'll be the body phone.
We'll time you from there.
Let's say he keeps his canes at his bedside, right?
Right.
Okay, I'm ready.
I'm waiting for the second hand to get to 60.
Speed it up! The old man walked twice as fast as that!
This is, I think, even more quickly than the old man walked in the courtroom.
No, it isn't.
If you think I should go faster, I will.
Speed it up a little.
Door, lock, stop.
Right.
What was the time?
15, 20, 30, 39 seconds.
That can't be!
39 seconds.
Now, that's interesting.
This is ridiculous. How do you like that?
39 seconds. 39.
And the old cripple swore on his oath that it was 15.
He may have been a little bit off on the speed that the old cripple moved at, but still, 24 seconds off? Well, now you know.
Far be it from me to call anyone a liar, and even allowing for quite a difference in speed between you and the old man. Why, there's still quite a
discrepancy.
It's my guess that the old man was trying to get to the door, heard somebody racing down the stairs, and assumed that it was the boy.
I think that's possible. Assumed? Listen to me, you people. I have seen all kinds of dishonesty in my day, but this little display here takes the cake.
What dishonesty?
Tell him! You walk in here with your heart bleeding all over the floor about slum kids and injustice, and you make up these wild stories, and you got some soft-hearted old ladies listening to you. Well, I'm not, okay? And I'm getting real sick of you. And what is the matter with you people? This kid, he's guilty. He has to burn. You're letting him slip through our fingers.
Our fingers? Are you his executioner?
I'm one of them.
Perhaps you like to pull the switch.
Oh, for this kid, you bet I'd love to pull the switch.
I'm sorry for you.
Don't start with me.
What it must feel like when I pull the switch.
Shut up!
You're a sadist.
Shut up!
You want this boy to die because you personally want it, not because of the facts. You're a beast. You disgust me.
Let me go! I'm gonna kill him! I'm gonna kill him!
You don't really mean you'll kill me, do you?
Is there anything wrong? I heard some noise.
No, there's nothing wrong. You can take this back. We're done with it.
What are you looking at?
I don't see why we have to behave like children here.
Nor do I. We have a responsibility. This is a remarkable thing about democracy. That we are, what is the word? Notified. That we are notified by mail to come down to this place and decide on the guilt or innocence of a man. Of a man we have not known before. We have nothing to gain or lose by a verdict. This is one of the reasons why we are strong. We should not make it a personal thing.
Thank you very much.
Why do you thank me?
We forget. It's good to be reminded.
Glad that we're going to be civilized about this.
Well, we're still nowhere. No, we're somewhere. We're getting there, maybe. Who's got an idea?
I think maybe we should try another vote.
It's all right with me. Anybody doesn't want to vote?
Let's go.
Yes, vote.
All right. We're going to make this an open ballot. I'm going to call your jury numbers as we go around the table. I vote guilty. 2.
Not guilty.
3.
Guilty.
4.
Guilty.
5.
Not guilty.
6.
Not guilty.
7.
Guilty.
8.
Not guilty.
9.
Not guilty.
10.
Guilty.
11.
Not guilty.
And 12.
Guilty.
6 to 6.
I'll tell you something. The crime is being committed in this room.
The vote is 6 to 6.
I'm ready to walk into court right now and declare a hung jury. There's no point in this going on anymore.
I'd like to know why you changed your vote. And why you changed your vote. And why you did. There are 6 jurors here who think we may be turning a murderer loose into the streets. Emotion won't do. Why?
See if the old man did not see the boy run downstairs. I do not think it's likely the man heard someone scream, "I'm going to kill you." Old men dream. And even if the boy did scream it out, and we have the authority of this woman, then it may not really mean that he's going to kill.
Why don't we just take it into the judge and let the kid do what 12 other guys?
6 to 6. I don't think we'll ever agree on anything.
Well, it has to be unanimous, and we're never going to convince him.
At first I was alone. Now 5 others agree that there is a doubt.
You can't ever convince me that there's a doubt, because I know there isn't a doubt.
Tell you what, maybe we are a hung jury. It happens sometimes. We're not going to be a hung jury.
But we are, right now. Balance. Let's take it into the judge.
There is a reasonable doubt. I don't see it.
The doubt is there in my mind.
Maybe we should vote.
What do you mean, vote?
Not again.
I still want to know. Vote on what?
Are we or aren't we a hung jury?
You mean that we vote yes, we are a hung jury, or no, we're not a hung jury?
That's just what I was thinking.
We can't even agree on whether or not the window should be open.
Let's make it a majority vote. The majority wins.
So if 7 or more of us vote that we are a hung jury, we take it into the judge and tell him that we're a hung jury?
Right. And if 7 or more vote no, then we go on discussing it.
It just doesn't seem quite right to me.
It's the only solution.
I agree. It's the only way.
Anything to end this.
All right. So we're agreed. 7 or more vote yes, we are a hung jury, and we take it into the judge.
Let's call our votes out.
Okay. I vote yes, we are a hung jury. 2.
No.
3.
Yes.
4.
Yes.
5.
No.
6.
No.
7.
Yes.
8.
No.
9.
No.
10.
Yes.
11.
No.
And 12.
Yes.
No!
The vote is 6 to 6.
We can't even get a majority to decide whether or not we're a hung jury.
I went along with the majority vote on this one, and I didn't agree with voting that way. Not then, and I still don't. So I'm changing my vote. We are not a hung jury. I believe that the boy is guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. That there are some things I'd like to find out from those other jurors that change their minds.
Then we aren't a hung jury. So we go on.
Good. We go on.
So, why'd you change your mind?
He seems so sure and has made a number of good points, while she only gets mad and insults everybody.
Does the anger and insult change the guilt of the boy? He did do it. Are you going to turn a murderer loose into the streets just because one of the jurors gets angry when she thinks a murderer is being turned loose?
That's true.
There is doubt.
I don't think so. The L train track is straight in front of the woman's open window. Let's take that point. An L train makes a low rumbling noise. When an L train goes around curves, it makes a high screeching noise. And the old man heard a scream, which is high-pitched, and it is a tenement, which has thin walls.
Good, that's it.
So, the old man may have been wrong about how long it took him to get to the door, but right about whom he saw running down the stairs. Please remember that there weren't any fingerprints on the knife, and it is summer, so gloves seem unlikely.
Everybody listen to this woman, okay? She knows what she's talking about.
And it may have taken the murderer a few seconds to get a handkerchief out and wipe the fingerprints away.
This is a point.
Why don't we just time this one to see?
Just, what are we timing? Yes, let's be exact, please.
I'm saying that the old man may have been wrong about how long it took him to get to the door, but right about whom he saw running down the stairs. It may have taken the murderer about 39 seconds to wipe the fingerprints away and run down the stairs to the place where the old man saw him. The boy, that is.
This is right.
We reconstructed the old man getting out of bed and going to the door, and we timed that. Now let's reconstruct the actual crime.
As well as we can reconstruct. I think a murderer could use up to 30 or 40 seconds of that one.
Let's reconstruct the killing.
Yeah, let's.
Here. You do the stabbing.
No, I'll do it.
And, hey, why don't you be the one that gets stabbed? You're younger than I am, and, remember, you take 1 second to fall.
And also, he fell on his side, his left side, so well done, roll it to your left side. If another person hates a person enough to murder them, don't you think that it's reasonable to assume that the murderer would look at his victim for a second or two?
Divorce yourself from this particular case, just human nature.
Yes, it seems reasonable.
Hey, wait a minute. They said he fell on his left side, the father did, but stabbing someone isn't like shooting them, even when it's right in the heart. The father might have worked around for a few seconds, lying there on the floor, writhing maybe.
That's quite possible. There would have been enough oxygen in his system to carry him for 2 or 3 seconds, I should think.
Would the father have cried out?
Maybe the kid held his mouth.
That also seems possible.
Also, there's another point we may bring out. Anyone who is clear enough mentally to wipe fingerprints away after murdering someone, well, that person is also clear enough mentally to check around the apartment, or the room in this case, for any other clues. It would just be for a second or two, I should think, but still, he would look around.
This gets better and better.
We're trying to make it clear. One doesn't talk about quality when murder's involved.
About this on the fingerprints. The kid wiped the fingerprints off the knife. Well, what about the doorknobs? If I saw a man coming into my home, a man that hated me, and he was wiping the doorknobs before he came in, it would give me an uneasy feeling. So the doorknobs must have been wiped after the killing, which too would take some time.
Hey, you timed the last one. Why don't you just time this one too?
All right.
Let's go. Stamp your foot when you want me to start.
Waiting for the hand to get to 60.
I'm gonna kill you! Wipes the fingerprints away. Checks around the apartment. And he would have wiped both knobs. And stop.
20, 25, about 29 and a half seconds, I'd say.
And whoever did murder the old man, I think it was the boy, still had to run down the hall and down a flight of stairs. At least one flight of stairs.
See?
So, the old man may have been wrong about how long it took him to get to the door, but in view of this, I think it's quite reasonable to assume that he did see the boy run down the stairs.
Now both time sequences check out. The one you did and the one we did. What with running downstairs and all, pretty much checks out on times.
Sure, he's an old man who wants attention. But he views us the way everyone does. There's a life at stake.
So, the story of the old man may well be true.
Except for the fact that he absolutely swore under oath that it was 15 seconds.
We all seem to agree that it was at least 25 to 40 seconds later.
You are now assuming that the old man lies some of the time. I mean, this does tend to confirm the story of the old man, but he's now in part a proven liar. This is by our own admission.
That may be true that the old man lied in part, but I think it will change my vote once more. Guilty.
What about you? What do you say now? I'm not just sure what I think. At first, I thought guilty, and then I changed, and I'm sort of swinging back to guilty. What about you?
No. I'm in real doubt now. Real doubt.
I say guilty. I was right the first time.
Now we're beginning to make sense in here.
The vote seems to be about 9 guilty to 3 not guilty.
One more question about the old man downstairs. How many of you live in apartment buildings?
I do not know what you're thinking, but I know what I'm thinking.
What's that?
I do not live in a tenement, but it is close, and there is just enough light in the hall so you can see the steps. No more. The light bulbs are so small, and this murder took place in a tenement. Remember how we stumbled on the steps?
The police were using big bulbs, and some even had flashlights, remember?
An old man who misjudged the time by 20 seconds. On this we all agree. This old man, he looked down the dark hallway of a tenement and recognized a running figure.
He was 100% wrong about the time. It took twice as long as he thought.
Then could the old man not have been 100% wrong about who he saw?
That's the most idiotic thing I've ever heard. You're making that up out of thin air.
Okay, tell you what, we're all hungry. Let's just admit it.
Do you truly believe that there is no room for reasonable doubt?
Yeah, I do.
I beg your pardon, but perhaps you don't understand the term reasonable doubt.
What do you mean I don't understand it? Who do you think you are to talk to me like that? How do you like her? You come over here and before you can even take a big breath, you're telling me how to run the show? The arrogance of you!
No one here is asking where anyone came from.
I was born right here.
Or where your father came from.
You know, maybe it wouldn't hurt for us to just take a few tips from people who come running here. Maybe they'd learn some things that we haven't. We're not so perfect.
Please, it is all right. I'm used to this. Thank you.
It's not all right.
All right. I'm sorry. Is that what you wanted?
That's what I wanted.
All right, let's stop arguing. Who has something constructive to say?
Something's been bothering me a little. The whole business about the stab wound, how it was made, the downward angle of it, you know?
Don't tell me we're gonna start that again. They went over and over it in court.
I know they did, but I don't go along with it. The boy was 5 foot 8 inches tall, and the dad was 6 foot 2 inches tall. That's a difference of 6 inches. It's an awkward thing to step down into the chest of someone who's half a foot taller than you.
All right. You're not gonna be convinced until you see it again, so I'll give you a demonstration. Somebody get up. Okay. Now watch this carefully, okay? I only want to do this once. Is that 6 inches?
More than 6 inches.
Let it be more then.
Look out!
That's not funny!
What is the matter with you?
All right, calm down. Nobody's hurt, are they?
No. Nobody's hurt.
Well, there's your angle. Down and in. That's how I'd stab a taller man in the chest, and that's how it was done. Look at it and tell me that I'm wrong. Down and in. Guess there is no argument.
Did you ever stab a man?
Of course not.
Did you?
All right, let's not be silly.
Did you?
No, I didn't.
Well, where do you get all your information about how it's done?
What are you talking about? It's just common sense.
The boy was an experienced knife fighter. He was even sent to reform school for knife fighting. Take a look at this. Doesn't it seem like an awkward way to handle a knife?
What are you asking me for?
Wait a minute. Well, what's the matter with me? Give me the knife.
Have you ever seen a knife fight?
Yes, I have.
In the movies?
No, in the vacant lot across the street. Too many of them. Switch knives came with the neighborhood where I lived. Guess you try to forget those things. Anyone who's ever used a switch knife would have never stabbed downward. You don't handle it that way. You use it underhanded.
Then he couldn't have made the kind of wound that killed his father.
I suppose it's conceivable that he could have made the wound, but it's not likely. Not if he had any experience with switch knives. And we all know that kid had a lot of experience with switch knives.
I don't believe it.
I don't either. All you've given us is a bunch of mumbo jumbo.
What do you think?
Well, I don't know.
What about you?
I'll tell you all something. I'm getting really sick of this. I mean, we're getting nowhere. Why don't we just take it in and go home?
Before we decide anything more, I'd like to try and pull this thing together.
This should be good.
That's right. Let him go ahead.
You see, I work in
advertising, and I'm used to the big shots pulling things together. Let's chip up a few shots and see if any of them land on the jury. I want you all to look at this logically and consistently.
We have. Guilty.
Now I want to know, is the kid smart or is he dumb?
What do you mean?
This boy has gone to reform school for knife fighting. The night of the murder, he bought a knife, a Swiss knife. It would then go and take a very stupid man to murder someone, his father, with an instrument that everyone would associate with the kid.
Yeah, I quite agree. He's dumb.
However, if he were dumb, then why did he make the kind of wound that an inexperienced man would make with a knife?
I'm not sure I understand.
To murder someone must take great emotion, great hatred, and at that moment, he would handle it as best as he could. And someone who had been trained would handle it as they'd been trained, underhand. Someone who had not been trained would go overhand. But this kid is being very smart. Everybody knows that he's an experienced knife fighter, so at that moment, he's smart enough to make the kind of wound that an amateur would make. Smart enough to wipe fingerprints away, and perhaps even smart enough to wait until an L train's going by to cover the noise. Now, is the kid smart, or is he dumb?
Now, wait a minute.
And the woman across the L tracks, if she saw the murder through the windows of the L train, couldn't someone else in that L train have seen it too?
Possibility, but no one did that we know of.
It would take an awfully dumb man to take that chance, committing the murder as the L train went by.
Exactly. A dumb man, a very stupid man, a man swept by emotion. Probably he heard nothing. He probably didn't even hear the train coming. And whoever did murder his father, well, did it the best that he could. This boy is dumb enough to do everything to associate himself with a Swiss knife murder. And then a second after the murder, he becomes smart. Smart enough to wipe the fingerprints away. And then he becomes dumb enough to do the killing as an L train goes by. To say this boy is guilty, you have to say that he's dumb from 8 o'clock until about midnight. And then from midnight onward, he's smart one second, then dumb the next, then smart again, and then he becomes dumb once more. So dumb that he doesn't think of a good alibi. Now, is the kid smart, or is he dumb? To say he's guilty, you have to toss his intelligence like a pancake. There's doubt, doubt, doubt.
I hadn't thought of that.
And the old man downstairs, on the stand, he swore it was 15 seconds. He insisted on it, but I think we all agree it must have been about 40 seconds later.
Does the old man tell the truth half the time and lie the other half?
To say this kid is guilty, you have to say that he's dumb one second, and then smart the next, then so on. And to make the kid guilty, you have to say that the old man lies one half the time and tells the truth the other half. You can reasonably doubt.
You know what? I'm sold on reasonable doubt.
I think I am too.
You know, I wanted more talk. Now I've had it.
I want another vote.
All right. There's another vote called for. I guess the quickest way is a show of hands. Anybody object? Okay. All those voting not guilty, raise your hands. Nine. All those voting guilty? 3. The vote is 9-3 in favor of the acquittal.
I don't understand you people! How do you believe this kid is innocent? Look, you know how those people lie. I don't have to tell you. It don't take any big reason for them to kill anyone either. And let me tell you, they get drunk all the time, and bang, someone's dead. Nobody's blaming them, because that's just how they are, you know? Violent! Human life don't mean as much to them as it does to us. Hey, where are you going? Look, these people are drinking and fighting all the time, and if somebody gets killed, so somebody gets killed. They don't care. Oh, sure, okay. There are some good things about them, too. Look, I'll be the first to say that. I know a few who are pretty decent, but that's the exception. Most of them, it's like they have no feelings. They can do anything. What are you guys doing? Look, I'm speaking my piece, and you listen to me. They're no good. There's not one of them who's any good. Well, we better watch out. Take it from me. This kid on trial, well, don't you know about them? I'm trying to tell you something.
You say one more word, and split your skull.
Oh, I'm just trying to tell you.
All right, sit down. The most damning evidence was given by the woman across the street who claimed she actually saw the murder committed.
That's right. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, that's the most important testimony.
All right, let's go over her testimony. What exactly did she say?
I believe I can recount it accurately. The woman said she went to bed at about 11 o'clock that night. Her bed was next to the open window, and when she was lying down, she could see directly into the window across the street. She tossed and turned for over an hour, unable to fall asleep. Finally, at about 12:10, she turns towards the window to look out and see the boy stab his father. As far as I can see, this is unshakable testimony.
That's what I mean. That's the whole case.
I mean, frankly, in view of this, I don't see how you can vote for the acquittal. What do you think?
Well, I don't know. Maybe. There's just so much evidence to say.
What do you mean, maybe? She's absolutely right. You could throw out all the other evidence.
I don't deny the validity of the points that he's made. Shall we say that on one side of the tracks there is doubt? But what can you say about the story of the woman? She saw it.
What time is it?
10 minutes away.
You don't suppose they'd let us go home and finish it in the morning? I've got a kid with the mumps.
Not a chance.
Oh my God.
Can't you see the clock without your glasses?
Not clearly.
Huh.
Glasses are a nuisance, aren't they?
Well, what do you all do when you wake up at night and want to know what time it is?
I just put my glasses on and look at the clock.
I just lie in bed and wait for the clock to chime. My father gave it to me when we were married. My husband and I, that is. It was 10 years before we had a place to put it.
Do you wear your glasses to bed?
Of course not. No one wears their glasses to bed.
Woman who testified that she saw the killing wears glasses. What about her?
Did she wear glasses?
Of course. The woman wore bifocals. I remember this very clearly now. They look quite strong.
That's right, bifocals. She never took them off.
Funny, I never thought of that.
I think it's logical to say that she was not wearing her glasses in bed, and I don't think she just put them on and glanced casually out the window. Now, the woman testifies that she saw the killing through the last two cars, and that the lights went out a split second later. Couldn't have had time to put on her glasses then. Now, perhaps this woman honestly thought that she saw the boy kill his father, but I say she only saw a blur.
How do you know what she saw? Maybe she's farsighted. How does he know all these things?
Is there anyone here who still thinks there's not a reasonable doubt?
I will always wonder, but there is a reasonable doubt.
I think he's guilty.
Does anyone else?
No, I'm convinced now. There is a reasonable doubt.
11 votes, not guilty. 1 vote, guilty.
I don't care whether I'm alone or not. I have a right to do
Yes, you have a right.
I already told you, I think the kid's guilty. What else do you want?
Your arguments.
I gave you my arguments.
We're not convinced. We're waiting to hear them again. We have time.
What is the matter with you? You were the one who made all the arguments. You can't turn now. A guilty man is going to be walking the streets. He's a murderer. He has to die. Stay with me.
I'm sorry. I'm not wrong often, but I guess I was this once. There is a reasonable doubt in my mind.
We're waiting.
You're not going to intimidate me, okay? I'm entitled to my opinion. This is going to be a hung jury and that's it.
There's nothing we can do about that except hope that some night, maybe in a few months, you might get some sleep.
You're all alone. It takes a great deal of courage to stand alone.
If it is a hung jury, there will be another trial, and some of us will have to point these things out to the various lawyers.
waited.
Not guilty. Not guilty.
Thank you.